So we are
It just
now
happened at exactly the wrong time.
live.
Right, it happened right at the shutdown.
Right.
So,
Of course.
Yeah, I saw your guys' stuff there.
We were
So.
both so excited.
how'd you go there?
We go there all the time.
We're all
You do?
there. Oh,
Well, it's closer. Oh, you go to JP's, didn't you?
Well, I go there just because they know me there.
Oh.
And we do business with, like, all our FFL transfers for these rifle giveaways, we've done through them.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yeah, so, I mean, we still, like, I still pay for them, but it's just good because they don't treat you like another range. Like, I hate gat guns.
I mean, they sell our coffee well like that.
I know.
They've been good to us. They allowed us to come to the first manufacturer show. It was kind of a challenge to get there, but we got there, and it's been done
We're not
well.
live right now.
Yeah, we are.
Oh, shit.
That's all right.
Give me a sec.
It is what it is. It is coffee and bullshit.
Alright.
So
So it's live. It's too late, but the recording it's going to be in 3, 2, 1.
oh, that's all right.
that's okay.
He'll edit that part out.
You
Yeah.
can't?
Too bad.
Live is live.
We're live right now?
Yeah, we're live.
We've been live.
Oh,
Yeah.
Demi, could you go over there and just lock the door, please?
Yeah.
Awesome.
So
Welcome to another episode of Coffee and Bullshit.
Top one?
doesn't matter.
So
It's a really great start to the live
Yeah.
broadcast.
Make sure you share,
yeah,
comment.
Like and share.
yeah. If
Like
you're
and
watching
share,
this,
comment,
yeah.
spread the word. Gun Barrel Coffee.
Somebody should be reading off the comments.
Oh, can you do
Yeah,
that?
think
I
have my
don't.
phone
Yeah,
up
he
for
pulls
that.
it up. So
You got it?
Oh, I forgot about reading comments, but yeah, I guess we could take live comments and anybody who's watching. I guess we're live.
yeah.
So are you.
So
We all
Yeah.
have our coffee cups in front of us.
So, if you guys were here last week, you know us three, but we have two amazing new guests. So, who are you guys and what are you guys about?
So, my name's Omar. This is,
Demi.
we work for a company called Alpha Outpost. Our office is in St. Charles, so we're also local. We're like 5 minutes from, 10 minutes
Yeah,
away from
5
you
10
guys.
minutes.
We do outdoor gear, but we're not here to talk about us, so.
No, we're here to do a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
I mean, inquiring minds want to know.
Alright, so there's 11 people watching us right now.
Ooh, that was better than last week. We had 0.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, we didn't have it on Facebook,
Oh,
so
okay.
that's why we had it 0.
So,
How about them gasoline prices?
You know what? They're increasing again, so
Yeah,
it
they're
kind of
going back up.
sucks.
I was really happy with it being low because I just got my license, so it was like perfect.
Oh,
I'm 16.
Oh,
But-
man.
Yeah.
We
I got
need
my
we need
license,
one
like,
to run the social
Yeah,
media.
Yeah.
but I got my license like 4 or 5 months ago, and so having all the gas be like 170 a gallon was perfect.
Yeah.
So, but you saw when gas 170 gallons, so on the market, even for sweet crude, is they were basically having to pay you $20,000 to take their oil
Yeah.
on any option because they ran out of places to store it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a crazy turnout from the time I started driving back, 1990 something. Gas was $1.05. Then it went up to $4 with the crunch, and the thing is always you're never going to see it come back down, right? To come back down below $2 a gallon is incredible to me. Wish I could go buy a storage and
Yeah.
sell it again when it comes down to $4.
Right.
But see, that's why I think it's all a conspiracy, because everyone's like, oh, the world's running out of oil and stuff. But, like, if we're all really running out of oil really fast, I feel like it would be more expensive.
Well, what's interesting is like when they're paying you to take oil, our government always has a stockpile of oil, right?
Yeah.
Usually, 5 years ago, it was supposedly we had 20 or 25 years of oil stockpiled. So why aren't we just taking all this cheap oil now, taking it all, storing it, and having the stockpiles that we need? You have something from Alpha Outpost?
Yes, we have something from Alpha Outpost. I'll let them explain
Oh, yeah.
their stuff here.
Do you-
I don't know if they can
Sorry,
see
I'm
it.
trying to
So-
share on.
This is our Cup of Joe box. This came out January.
January.
We teamed up with Gun Barrel to send coffee to our subscribers. Comes with a portable camping stove, a silicone drip cup, so it's collapsible. You can just put a coffee filter in it. Awesome coffee. A piezo igniter to start your stove. What else do I have in here? A tumbler cup and a camping kettle. So we do this every month. We do like a theme subscription. Each box has a certain name. So this one was Cup of Joe, and we focused it around coffee. All the products were actually I don't want to take all the credit, but come from like my brain. So and we just
We'll take all the credit.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then I actually write all the top card information. There's like information on how to use your stuff, a description of each product. These are just regular beans. So I wrote about how to grind your beans without using any type of like mechanical equipment. So that's a little bit of what we do. We do knives, fishing stuff, anything that involves camping. You can find it at our store, alphaoutpost.com.
We've got
So-
it all.
Do you have to sign up for a long-term subscription? Can you do one at a time? How's it work?
I'll let Demi
So
explain that.
you can do either one. So you can sign up for the subscription where it's $5 for your first box, and then monthly it's $40. Or you can just do a pass box if you don't want any commitment, and you can just purchase it. It's going to be a little bit more, but you don't have to sign up. This one is actually going to be going up on our website
Soon, yeah, actually.
so you guys can check it out and get some Gun Barrel coffee in there. But yeah, so you can do both if you want. It's cheaper to have a membership, but you don't have to if you don't want to. So that's the nice thing about it, for sure.
So Jay Colavita said, almost time for resupply. Love your coffee and the fact that you give back to those who serve.
Oh, thank you, Jay.
And thank you for your support, Jay. Recognize you, so appreciate all the long-term support.
If you guys can't hear us, just let us know in the comments, or if you guys have any questions,
Yeah.
again, let us know.
Yeah.
This is coffee and bullshit.
Coffee and bullshit.
Coffee and bullshit. So let the topics begin, or give us a topic to talk about.
Yeah.
So I thought it was pretty interesting. I saw the protests are starting all around here now.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
more support than what I thought we would see out there. You know, it starts off as like, oh, there's going to be a few, I think, crazy people out there, if that's what you're thinking. There's been big support. I think people are getting tired of being stuck in their home.
Yeah.
So how much of it is real that this COVID's really not that much of a threat? How much of it is just people are sick of being stuck in their houses?
Ooh, I don't know.
I think that there's definitely is a point to be concerned about just from having family that's first responders and how they deal with it every day. But I think that there's also some of it's blown out of proportion, but it's just not economically sustainable to stay in a state of quarantine where it's almost like whether or not it's dangerous is it worth all of the other impact.
So like now Google and Facebook just announced today they're going to keep their people in home or work from home till 2021.
Wow.
So big companies can get away with
Yeah.
that, right? Internet-based companies can get away with that.
Yeah.
It's the small businesses like us, like Alpha
Yeah.
Outpost, who are the ones suffering because of it.
Yeah.
Right, and then the people that support us, they're suffering too. So, you know, time to get back to work. The sick that are sick or immune deficiencies or whatever it is, you know,
Let's say
keep
things,
them covered and safe. And
How bad was it with all the SBA and the PPP loans?
Yeah.
The large public companies stole that money
Yeah.
from small companies. I mean, we filed an application almost immediately. We got no word back at all, so we refiled again last week, and we finally got a word back that said applications are being handled in the order they were received. So we don't know what order our application was received in. We have no idea when it's coming. So for a lot of businesses are facing that too. For a lot of people who, luckily, personally, my full-time job, I've been lucky to stay working. But a lot of people who didn't get work now, the CARES Act ends in June, so the extra $600 a week they're getting now is going to be gone.
Yeah.
So that's when I think the real recession starts, is sometime later this summer if it
yeah.
doesn't open back up.
For sure.
So we're live on the top.
on the top.
Okay.
Do we have more comments to answer or questions?
Well, I want to know if they could hear us, because that one doesn't have a mic, right?
No, it doesn't have a mic. Just what's on there right now.
What is
I mean,
If they could hear us, let me know. Is that an iPhone?
we're just gonna use this one? Oh, that's not an iPhone.
no, it's not an iPhone. It's actually an Android. So.
Come on,
Talk
Sam.
about that. That'll be our next
Oh
topic.
Jesus! All right.
That's the next civil war.
Right.
Yeah.
Android versus iPhone?
Yeah.
Just because my sound's better on there.
Okay.
Well, there's 23 people watching right now.
Nice.
Thank you all for joining us. If you
Probably
can hear
because
us.
it's on an Android. Yeah, I don't know how to set this up where it's closer.
Well, just set up where it's at.
Yeah.
You know, it had a good view. Now they probably get a view of.
Jessica Gray said, we can hear you.
See?
Oh, good.
Oh,
Awesome.
They can hear us.
Perfect.
Perfect. Thanks, Jessica.
Just check it out.
Right now.
Oh gosh, we didn't break the camera yet, so we're good. All right. Boy, it's kind of weird trying to see it on there, and
Yeah.
I know,
Yeah,
right?
so I'm just trying to
yeah.
watch it.
So if anybody out there has got any topics for us, they want to shoot at us. Well, don't shoot at us, but send to us. We're more than happy to answer them.
He said, who's that handsome guy with the beard? Frank. I don't want to butcher this last name. It's probably Italian. I'll let Sal
With the
answer
beard.
that.
Brian, he's got the beard.
That's
I
you.
just,
It must be you.
oh.
Yes, me.
I think it's one of Sal's relatives.
It could be.
There's plants out there.
Well, I'm somewhat of a handsome devil. Not much, but a little bit. Well, thank you, Frank. I'm not going to go any further in that.
I agree with Jay.
Yeah.
I don't like iPhones either.
So now I think it's interesting. Now I saw today too that more of the White House staff now is getting affected with COVID.
Yeah. I forget. Like personal assistant, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Personal valet,
Yeah,
was it?
and then one of the press secretaries now too. They said has it.
Wow.
So I think it's interesting. I was talking to my wife about a month ago. I said, "You're never going to see President Trump come on TV with a mask on during this, even if it makes sense, because I think that's what causes panic, right? It's almost admitting defeat when the president comes out. If he's wearing a mask, that creates some of the mass hysteria. Well, this is worse than we thought it was, right? If you can come on without a mask, say, hey, this is what happens when you control it. I think you're gonna see a change where there's gonna have to be, now that it's reached the White House, right? They're gonna have to be wearing masks. I think it's gonna be a big change to the sentiment of how serious people are gonna take this when you start seeing people on TV wearing masks constantly.
Well, you didn't see our governor Prisker wearing a mask when he does his, you know.
Done any.
I think the only reason he pushed is because he likes to play golf, so he pushed it off. So now weekends he can keep the golf course empty for himself to go play.
Yeah, but that's an interesting thing. It's like all the really rich country clubs by like Glen Ellen, Lombard, Wheaton, they all reopened as like essential now with whatever the new thing is. And I don't know. I never thought of a country club being as essential as other places, but I guess when the rich people make the policies.
Oh, yeah.
I don't get that. Like when was it? When Pritzker announced what was opening up, it was like state parks. I was excited. I was like, we're going to Starve Rock this weekend.
Right, we're going.
Yeah.
They're still closed.
Mhm.
For the rest of the month, there's only like a certain amount of like state parks that actually opened up and are willing to let people in. I thought that was
Well, not enough social distancing in state
Yeah.
parks.
well. That's what I'm like saying. Like
Yeah.
you could go to Home Depot or Walmart or Target
And be shoulder to shoulder practically.
like this,
Yeah.
but you can't go to a state park where you actually have more room to social distance.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Well, just like Wisconsin announced that if you go up there to stay in a cabin, you got to be quarantined for 14 days before going out. I mean, isn't that what you do in your cabin?
What grinds my
Yeah.
gears?
What grinds my gears?
That's what this show should be talking. What grinds our gears.
But
But then we take it from the
I think
family
that-
guy.
I think that's what happens though when I think our policy to this was to be reactionary, right? There was no policy in place. There was no real plan for this. So when you're reactionary, you tend to overreact, and it's chaotic. Right? Every place has a different policy. Every state has a different policy. There's no uniformity. People just come here talking. Do I wear a mask here? Do I not wear a mask here? Where can I go? Nobody really knows what the bottom line is or what the median law is. So it's kind of just take it as you go. Everybody sets their own policy.
Well, the one thing that was universal throughout the whole thing was toilet paper. So everybody buying toilet paper is.
I still haven't figured out why that was a rush.
I have no idea.
I still don't get it.
I guess like if quarantine goes full quarantine and you can't leave your house, you don't want to be without it. But also,
There's ways of getting around.
But had nobody ever
Shower.
right? But think about it,
Shower.
had nobody hoarded, it never became an issue.
yeah,
Right? If people had just the whole time maintained like normal usage, it wouldn't be an issue.
Right.
I'm waiting for the meat for people to start hoarding
Yeah.
meat.
But
That's gonna
it's already happening.
Yeah.
So
Look at the prices. My God, like the worst meat now is super expensive. And then Purdue said they were going to shut down production because of processing. And then Trump said you can't shut down You can't break the food supply chain like that.
Yeah.
But you're gonna watch chicken prices go through, and the less chicken we have, the more beef's gonna go up.
Yeah.
I guess it's good to maybe contact your local butcher and see if you can get a
Yeah.
cow for a good price or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
I don't think we felt the effects of what the economic recession is yet.
No.
I
That's
think
no.
coming.
I think the wave is building, and no one realized how bad it's going to be
Yeah.
come towards into summer, August, September, October.
Which is going to hit in different ways than a lot of the past recessions, because it's not like a housing bubble or something like that, where it's like, it's this weird thing that people don't fully understand that's causing weird things people don't fully understand to happen. And then, just as everyone copes with it day by day, it's like, yeah, we don't know how bad it's going to be or how companies are going to react.
Yeah.
I think it's very interesting how much it's going to change what the world looks like when it's over.
Yeah.
The more people are shopping online now, it's going to make that a big
Yeah.
thing. Companies are having to change to online.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
My company never allowed work from home. Now work from home, so
Yeah. Exactly.
I tried to push for that policy 2 years ago, and they refused
Yeah.
it. Then it got forced on them.
So it couldn't
I
happen.
tried pushing that policy here, but I keep getting fired every time I leave this place.
Right.
Yeah.
Pete Soto's said toilet paper because politicians are full of crap.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm going to make that one of those word blurbs for Facebook. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
This is a question for you guys from Randall.
Just gave him some coffee the other day. Team up with Energy City, local brewery here. Whenever they're ready, I mean, we're always ready. If you want to do a coffee beer,
They used to be next door to us. They moved, expanded, and grew. So they make great beer.
that even goes for any other beer who wants a beer company or a beer brewery, whatever you want to call them. I don't know.
Coffee stouts are awesome.
Coffee stouts, yeah, stouts.
They have great coffee for it.
Still,
That'd be awesome.
yeah.
You can get awake and drunk at the same time. It's
Mm-hmm.
awesome.
It's like a Four Loko.
Hey, we'll do Four Loco too. I mean, we'll
Four
do a
Loko.
coffee.
Oh, God.
Four Loco coffee. Yeah.
Never have good memories of Four Locos.
Nope. I picked my wife off the floor many times from Four Locos. And off the pier. And
Yeah.
dragged her upstairs. Yeah.
Good times.
Yep.
Alright, is there any more questions from anybody else?
No? Well, how about those killer hornets?
Oh yeah.
Another thing from China, right? Isn't it? Or Japan?
I don't know where they're.
I can't wait. I can't wait till Trump addresses that.
I want to
Got
see
the China hornets. They're the biggest,
huge.
baddest hornets.
thumb. Like the size of a thumb, man. That's insane.
Yeah.
It'll keep her satisfied. I mean,
Jay said, buy American and support local businesses to keep the economy churning.
Damn right.
For sure.
damn Skippy.
I agree.
Websites. You guys wanna
Websites?
Give out your websites.
www.gunbarrelcoffee.com
Yeah, and we are just www.alphaoutpost.com.
or Facebook. You can find us too.
Yep.
Gun Barrel Coffee.
Instagram.
I'm sure you guys are Alpha Outpost on Facebook, right?
Yep, Alpha Outpost, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube,
Tender.
Tinder.
Farmers only.
Farmers only.
Yeah.
We've got it all.
Christian mingle.
Christian unmingled.
Exactly.
Well, 21 people watching. We need topics, guys. So if you're watching, give us a topic to talk about. Let those comments roll through.
Yeah.
In the meantime.
So, where'd you get those shirts? Something new?
Yeah, so this is for this month's subscribers. They're gonna get a T-shirt. On the front says Alpha Outpost, on the back says Homeland Security. Well, on the bottom says Homeland Security. On the back it says "This is my safe space."
Yeah.
Did you guys see it?
No.
No, I didn't see it. Nice.
Nice. I like it.
Can they see it on the? Let's see.
The live's like 15 seconds behind, but from what I can tell, they should have been able to see it.
Okay.
But yeah, so that's coming out this
yeah,
month.
they can see it.
Yeah.
So with the monthly subscribers, you do have the option of getting a shirt every once in a while. So this is the second time I think that we've done this. Last time we did a hoodie. So yeah, we try to switch it up a bit.
How many Alpha Alpo shirts do you have? I mean, I have none.
I don't have any.
I have
either.
zero.
We'll have to look and see.
I mean, we sell
Yeah.
this stuff here in our shop, but I don't have any Alpha Alpo shirts.
Yeah.
Do you have Gun Barrel shirts?
Yeah,
Actually,
actually,
yes, we bought one.
Yeah,
That's
I
over
know.
here.
I don't have any Alpha
I'll
Alpo
have
shirts.
to, have to buy one off you guys.
Weird.
Then,
Jessica Gray said, I see many small mom and pop shops join in support of each other and their communities to keep some cash flow going. Is charitable service group sale / community boxes the way to go?
So we did do a box sale with Batavia Main Street here. They did a thing with they put together, I think, 4 or 5 different boxes
yeah,
with items from a bunch of businesses around the
different
area.
businesses, yeah.
The one we were in, they did a great job. They sold out 25 of them almost instantly.
26,
26
in
instantly.
less than 24 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
Obviously, anything we can do to, especially collaborate with the other business around here. We know even our neighbors suffering, so can't have people in the store. It makes it very tough trying to do virtual. Even one of our great stores down in Coal City is like our best retailer. She's been our best retailer. She's really struggling. So do what you can. Support your local. Get out there. Take a look. Look on our website. You'll see all the people who sell Gun Barrel coffee. If you live close, please go help them out and buy from them. We only sell through really independent retailers right now, so they need as much help as possible.
Anybody's interested, you can always contact us, contact Brian, and we can get it to a store near you, something independent, little mom and pop places.
Yep. One thing that I noticed, actually, I've been on Amazon a lot, unfortunately, but Amazon actually has a thing where it's like you can shop local businesses, like, and you can pick where you want to shop from. So it's like the Midwest, or you can choose a state. So I thought that was really
Oh,
cool.
nice.
Instead of just having those big retailers on there, they've got those small businesses on there as well, which I'm trying to look through some of them to see.
I'll have to look into that, I didn't see that one.
Yeah, oh yeah, like I said, I've been on
I've been
Amazon a
separated
lot,
by
so
that,
it's worth it. Oh, hi Kelly. We miss you, Kelly.
I might have missed it. Did you guys mention gardening and other sustainable things you can do if the food situation gets worse?
Back to Victory Gardens. That's what they did during the war. Go out and support a Victory Garden.
Yeah.
You can still go to your local stores. You can still pick up seeds, plants, planting soil, everything. It's a great idea.
Yeah.
Can you use coffee to grow plants?
You can use coffee as a
Grounds.
type of grounds for fertilizing.
Mixed with
Yep.
fertilizer.
And some acidic plants, like plants that like more acidic water, you can just water with coffee. And in Batavia, you can get your own chickens. So if you like meat and stuff, you can get your own chickens if you like eggs.
That's awesome.
But don't kill
really
your
cool.
chickens because that's legal. But
It is?
you cannot like kill your own. You can't slaughter your own chickens on private property in at least Batavia. I think in Geneva you can though.
Geneva, we're not allowed to have chickens.
Or some other they can.
I
Elburn,
You
that's
should.
the
I wouldn't mind a
chicken
couple
ones.
chickens.
Elburn
Then
you can. I don't know.
just take it in the garage and.
It'd be great if you have a neighbor
fresh
you hate,
chicken.
get a rooster.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, everybody should have a rooster at
I-
their house.
I stayed at a place where there's rooster, and
Yeah.
no kidding, they're the worst alarm clock in the world. They are consistent.
Yeah.
There is no snooze button. As soon as the
Yeah.
sun comes up, it just goes on, and you will not believe how loud a rooster is if you have not heard one live. It's
But they are mighty
unbelievable.
tasty.
My mom's old neighbor, so at my mom's house in Addison, she's unincorporated Addison, there's a house that is in front of her, and the old people that used to live there had like all of these chickens, like a huge like just chicken coop and like barns full of chickens. So my sisters and I used to always go in there and steal the chicks when we were younger. That was a lot of fun. But yeah, so I mean,
So
we
you
were
were
always,
picking up chicks when you were younger?
Yeah,
You're also
exactly.
admitting to a crime.
Right.
Oh,
just,
yeah, it's
just admitted to a crime live. That's
Yeah,
nice.
but you know, it's over.
They've done plenty
past
worse
7
things
years.
anyway, so it's
So-
okay. Oh yeah, it's way past
Yeah.
that.
How many chicks before it's a felony?
Yeah.
Nick Rogers asked, is Illinois still under lockdown? If it's not, are people starting to go out? Love the coffee, by the way.
So it's not really lockdown. It's supposed to be shelter in place, right? But we're supposedly till the 30th right now of
Yeah.
May. But people are out and about, especially, I don't know where you're at, Nick, but in nice weather, people have been cooped up here. We have 9 months of winter, so
Yeah.
the first day it was over 60 degrees. The world outside was absolutely insanely packed.
I had a hard time finding parking in downtown Batavia today.
Traffic's not gotten any easier
Yeah.
in the last 2
It's
months.
been a little less. I mean, it's a lot less people going to work, so.
Right.
Yeah. I sure guess rush hour is more like spread out.
Well, that's the thing is,
Yeah.
even when I drive, like, I come down to the shop on Saturday, right? Everybody supposed to be off doing stuff. Traffic's just as bad. So I wonder if even during the week, if nobody's going to work, why are there still so many cars on the road?
No,
Not-
I've seen an increase in traffic.
Oh yeah.
Not everybody's going to the store for essential groceries. So
Yeah.
I mean, me with my family, when we're bored on weekends, we just go take drives now because there's nothing else to do. So that's the toughest part. Is
That's what I've been trying to do. Is go for a drive.
I have two kids who've been locked in the house every day, all day for 2 months. Like, there's not much place to go to spend energy. Dog park is open. We go to the dog park. That's about it.
Do the dogs have to social distance?
Don't even have a
themselves?
dog, but you have a dog.
Right. we just look at other people's dogs. Like, we pretend like our dog's lost. We whistle for the whole time. We had 300 people looking for our invisible dog last week.
I don't blame people if they get out for a drive.
Yeah.
No, you have to.
Yeah, and that's like
Sometimes it's nice just to get
yeah.
out.
I like trying to go to a forest preserve, but like every other day or something like that.
Yeah.
Which is weird because a lot of the ones that like I've never seen another car at besides me, I'm starting to see like 3 or 4 or 5 people show up. Or like those ones are way far out of nowhere.
Yeah.
But
Well,
once
there's a park next to me that it's packed every night when I drive by.
Yeah.
The park's not big enough to where people couldn't be in there not walking shoulder to shoulder. The parking lot's overcrowded.
I've seen a ton of people riding bicycles.
Yeah.
Oh,
everywhere.
yeah, tons,
Like,
yeah.
if you own a freaking bike shop, now's the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Seriously.
Yeah, the bike path's right next to our shop, and it's packed. Last Saturday was nice. It was absolutely insane out
But
there.
can the bike shops be open?
I know
Are they
that
considered an essential business?
Prairie Path Cycles over here is still open,
Yep, he never
doing like
closed.
curbside stuff, but they all spoked up when they actually went out of business, I think.
Oh, they
So
did?
it's something like that. I was going past the other day. I love that shop. It's awesome. If it is still open, forget them. Always go to All Spoked Up.
Yeah, there's a bicycle shop by our place, and
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they're like selling bicycles, but not like inside the store. It was more
Yeah.
like I guess you order.
Yeah, what's
Curbside
the
pickup for your bicycle.
Yeah.
what's the one by in Geneva?
No worries.
No Recyclery? Yeah.
Yeah.
I never paid attention.
But I mean,
I've
most
seen
people
people
come
on
to the
tandem
shop.
bikes.
Yeah, most people come to the shop. I mean, people walk down the path. We had people in today who walked from Geneva. Another couple walked from St. Charles. So
Yeah.
One dude biked from Wheaton here.
Yeah, it's
my
like a
gosh.
Oh, wow.
15-mile bike road, I think.
Wow.
I think just people are so bored now. They're like, who cares? Let's go out all day for a
Yeah.
walk.
I wonder, like, how much healthier this is actually making people. Like, how many people after this will still be going outside and walking around and, like, be as active.
The fitness trend's gone way up.
Yeah.
It was tough to buy. I tried to buy dumbbells online.
Yeah.
My wife bought for Amazon. They were back ordered.
Yeah.
What?
Like when in history have dumbbells ever been back ordered? until this time, right? The dumbbell manufacturers in the world, like, oh my God, this is the best we've ever seen. They're probably wishing for more viruses.
Yeah. Or all the home workout equipment, like, doubled in price after a month of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where,
Insane.
yeah.
Well, I mean, you can work out from home. There's plenty of stuff
Yeah.
to do outside.
Yeah.
I mean, you have treadmills, which is pretty much walking indoors. You can
Yeah.
do it outside or run inside or run outside.
Yeah.
What's that? Stationary bikes. Get a real bike and stationary your ass out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where if you're gonna get like one piece of equipment, I think like a kettlebell or a pull-up bar for your door, it's like $20. But I've been doing some kettlebell stuff just because all the gyms are closed. But
So Nick said suburbs of Nashville, Tennessee, we're just now reopening everything except for the major cities. Parks are opening. The only thing that's been restricted are ice rinks. People are out and about, but definitely skittish.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, people are skittish. Yeah.
Yeah.
I see that.
Yep.
I think it's because nobody knows what the real deal is,
No.
right? Well, the thing I thought was scary is up by me in Henry County, the police fought with the hospital that they now have to be informed of everybody that has tested positive for corona. So the hospital did a great job of fighting back, saying no, that's a violation of HIPAA law and it's a violation of privacy. The police fought back, and the judge stood behind it that now the police have to be notified.
What?
But what's
So think about that. It's a little bit of Nazi
Privacy.
fascism, right? That now we're going to label you. So now are you going to wear a red A when you go out in the world so everybody knows, like, that person's
Maybe a
infected, that
C.
person's infected, right? So
Right.
big red
C.
C. So now you're infected.
it's crazy.
That's
Right?
weird.
The corona emblem. Oh,
yeah.
It's crazy to think that could ever happen. And the police know who you are,
Right.
That's insane.
right? So if it ever came that we want to round people up for quarantine, now they come to your house and round you up for quarantine.
That's crazy.
Well, now I think said if you catch the corona and you want to join the military, you have to have a waiver now.
You can't. They're not.
Yeah, yeah.
No, you're not allowed to join now. No one can ever join
Well, until have
once
a,
you've been infected, because now they're afraid. They don't know what the antibodies are yet. They don't know if you're more susceptible in the future.
Wow.
Wow.
That's crazy.
So
the amount of shots that we got in the military.
You would think you would be immune to it,
Yeah.
but taking a devastating toll on the Vietnam veterans because of their age and health. You know,
right, how many morbidities did Agent Orange cause?
Oh,
Seriously.
Right,
Yeah.
took my father from every condition you come up with, from heart to kidneys to liver to cancer.
bone,
Right, so they basically it's a great way to target them.
Yeah.
Right. Anybody who served, even the guys who come back from prison, right? You deal with some stuff you came back with that makes you more susceptible, right?
No, I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
I'm sure we'll find out in the future that some of the longer term effects of
If I keel
you're
over.
subject to.
Burns when I pee.
That's a whole nother subject.
That's a whole other subject.
with red specs.
Wait, what was that?
We watched what was it, Sicario yesterday.
Yeah, but watched
Oh,
Sicario
yeah.
last night.
We've seen it a couple of times, but it's like, hey, how you doing? And he's like, well, it burns when I pee.
That was a good movie.
People who are joining right now, they're probably like, what are they talking about?
There's a good scene in Sicario where when they pull up and they first face him down, a Navy SEAL's going through and doing how realistic are the movies. He's like, this is a decent movie. He goes, but if you look at this one scene here, right, the bolt is back on the AR rifle. It's ready to shoot him, right, but the bolt's completely open. He's like, so it makes the whole rest of the movie hard to watch. He's like, just that little detail. He's like, my wife won't watch a movie with me because like I have to pick all this stuff out. He's like, I want to watch. He's like, I want to enjoy it, but I noticed all this stuff. I can't help but notice it. You know, so
This
it's like,
ruins everything. That one thing.
But do you do that?
Sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes.
Same. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a.
Start yelling at the TV.
Yeah.
They're doing it wrong. That's not a gig.
Turn it off.
We watched we started. I finished it. She fell asleep. We watched a movie called Den of Thieves. I don't know if you guys ever seen it. It has 50
No.
Cent. But the beginning,
Oh, man.
they were just robbing a armored truck, an empty one. But they obviously use it throughout the movie. But I was like, yo, these guys are doing everything the right way if they want to rob an armored truck.
Yeah. That's
basically
why we
the
started
instructions on how to
watching
do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was impressed, so I stayed up and watched the whole thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was good from what I saw.
It was a nice action movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, did you ever watch that movie I recommended to you last
That's
week?
a Stalin.
Death of Stalin.
Yes.
Oh,
That's a good one.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
on Netflix, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
It was good because they made it funny, and I don't know if it was trying to tell the real story, if it was trying to just be a parody of it, of what happened. But in the end, they kind of told the truth about what happened after when he died. So, what's interesting about that is, Stalin put a lot of people in jail. They had lists they're going after, pulling people out. And when they needed doctors for Stalin, when he was he had a brain hemorrhage, they're like, well, we've killed all the good doctors. There's only left is all the bad doctors.
Oh no.
And so everybody was afraid to call any doctor because they don't want to be the one responsible for calling the bad doctor.
Right.
But they're killing. But then at the end, when he died, people from all over the country wanted to come to attend his funeral.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So although he imprisoned all these people, so I was reading a thing yesterday about what's the sentiment currently about Stalin in history.
Oh.
And they're
Well, I
said
said hi
now,
to. Well, can you hear me? I said hi.
most of the younger generation now, 80% of people look at Stalin as a hero. Although it was almost like the Nazi regime, locking people up, taking people down,
Wow.
because it's through folklore that he's the one who beat the Nazis. And it was a great win for Russia to beat the Nazis back then. So, this guy imprisoned people, tortured people for no reason, had firing lines, killing people in mass. Folklore makes him a hero.
So Nick said, what are Sal and Brian's favorite GBC roasts?
Oh.
So this is tough. So my normal everyday is our Moab, the high caffeine. It's got a good spicy caramel flavor. It becomes my addiction. Usually this cup is full of that. But we just came out with Devil Dog, our dark roast espresso, which is super rich, a lot of flavor. And then our new one, it's kind of a secret one coming out, is our Double Dark. That's been my new addiction.
Yeah, the Double Dark is amazing.
Yeah.
was lucky
I
enough
would
to get
say
a bag of that.
for me, every day I come here, I just make some little Rocket Man in the machine, get a little espresso machine
Yeah,
there.
that was good.
So I'll make, that's what I usually drink.
Yeah, that was awesome. I'm wide awake now.
What are you guys?
Somebody's in trouble.
So, he.
I don't like caffeine. I can't. Well, I don't, not that I don't like it. I can't handle it.
Yeah.
I get jittery.
Yeah.
So actually, I do like the CBD, the
Yeah, the
Corman,
CBD
and the
one.
Medic blends
Yeah.
because that stuff just calms me down. And I don't know what this was. This is really good.
The R&R.
The
R&R.
decaf.
Anything that's decaf, I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
It's like the O'Doul's of beer.
Well, they have that Heineken, non-alcoholic, and they introduced it to the United States. But when I was in Kuwait and Iraq in 2003, they had that there already. And I remember we're buying, I don't know, as much as we could to drink something that felt like beer while we're there. Budweiser was horrible, if I remember correctly, but the Heineken one was really good. Yeah. Unless you go to Korea, then that's OB, and that's Oriental Budweiser.
Yeah, I'll pretty much drink any coffee. I like it all.
What's been your favorite now, Derek?
I think my favorite is definitely, I love the rum one, just because I've always loved the rum and bourbon
Non-alcoholic
stuff. Yeah.
Ooh, I gotta try
But
that one.
I like it because I'm a big fan of some of like the more high-end lighter roasts where it's a more complex flavor kind of. When you guys have the best dark and medium roast I've had out of anyone ever, even bags that are like twice as much. So got their dark and medium roasts, but I think the rum one is just the closest to what I usually go for, and it's the most like experience if you want like a coffee experience.
I like that.
But I really like the Air Force One, which is what I had when I first met you guys a while ago. Was
Space Force?
Space Force? That's
Yeah.
it. Space
Yeah,
Force.
well, it's not Air Force, okay?
Yeah,
There's
It's
a
its
separation.
own division now. It's
Yeah.
Space Force.
They got their own
apologize.
commercial recruiting.
I apologize. The Space Force, I think, is just kind of like a dependable one.
The Air Force One is the Moab.
Yeah.
Space Force has Space Force.
Yeah.
The Marines have the Devil Dog. Who's for the Army. Coming out with the Navy one soon. Don't worry, people. We're coming out with that one. Not going to say it's a double dark, but... then we got one for the police officers of
Can you see back there?
Cuff 'em Joe, and then we also have the engine for
The engine's really good too.
engine for
That's
the
Sinatra one.
Yeah.
the
Dry
firefighters.
earthy tone. If you like to
Yeah.
put a little nip in your coffee, those Sumatras
Yeah.
are awesome for it. 'Cause they're good and dry,
Yeah.
and then the alcohol offsets it perfect.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm falling behind the comments. 'Cause
Oh, well,
it's taking forever to load. Alright, so
it's the Marine Corps.
Lindy said, can we create a disaster rescue roast for the volunteers who rescue during hurricanes? Hashtag true rescue roast. And hashtag cat5 rescue roast. Lindy, Bobby, Matt.
Cool. I like the idea. We gotta come up with them. It takes a little bit of time to develop roast, so
Yeah.
about to test it, go through it. I mean, most of our roasts here took us about a year and a half, 2 years of development before we even launched to try to figure it out.
Yeah, just tasting all different types of
Yeah.
beans and roasting all different beans and just, 'cause we're doing this while we're working full time, so it's,
Right.
Yeah, man, I wish we could just flip the switch and make a new roast. Yes, we'd love to do it, but if we're gonna put out coffee, it's got to be good. Especially if we're gonna represent those folks, then it has to be really good,
Yeah.
right? You can't we don't make bad coffees to represent people or just to play off the name. So it's got to be good coffee too.
You guys have Marine Corps?
yeah, Devil Dog.
Really?
Yeah,
Is that blended with crayons?
yeah. Well,
It comes with a set of crayons. there's a free set inside at the bottom of the bag, like a cereal box.
I know.
Yeah.
Beginning.
Right? There's a maze in the back that you gotta go through.
how to open this bag?
And it's like there's no exit. You just press it in and you're trying to get out.
Yeah, that's actually a good idea. I don't think anybody's ever done that of having like a little prize in a bag of coffee. Like,
There's a $100 bill in the bag at the bottom of every bag of our coffee.
yeah,
If you can find it.
yeah.
Yep.
That's like
Every bag. So order right now because everyone has a $100
You
bill.
get like a little plastic rifle or something.
yeah. If
That'd
you guys
be
like
cool.
threw one of those things
There
in
you
the
go.
bag.
I can't wait till we get sued for that too.
Yeah.
That's gonna be
Someone
great.
like, I swallowed the rifle after ingesting Lysol to try and cure COVID. I can't believe you guys told me to eat the
Oh my
rifle.
God. That's funny.
Yeah.
It tasted like coffee.
I can't do anything now. Somebody mentions something might work, and people go
Oh,
ingest it,
yeah.
and then they want to sue you for it.
Yep.
There's no more. Common sense is not allowed in this country.
The FDA has not approved it, but gun barrel coffee might help you with COVID.
Not saying it's a cure. Not saying it's not a cure.
But it helps.
It might
It
help.
might help.
It might help you.
Yeah.
There's a chance.
It could help you with your relationship.
I can't wait to see the divorce rate after all this is done. Right? I love my wife and kids, but like after like week 3, I got to look at my wife. I'm like, "Are you following me around the house? I'm upstairs, you're there. I'm downstairs, you're there." Like I love spending time with them. Like at first I was like, "This is awesome. I get to spend more time with my wife and kids working from home. This is great." Like now it's getting to the point like, stop following me around the house. Just leave me alone for like 10 minutes. I have no space.
Right.
So I know like the divorce rate after all this is over, people are gonna be like,
Yeah.
I can't stand you. I can't believe I can't. After this, they like put so much pressure on.
Right.
Yeah.
FOMO.
You get FOMO, fear of missing out.
Right.
I'm following you everywhere.
But when has a couple or family ever spent this much time in like the pressure cooker? Right. The longer it goes on, the more pressure it's gonna be.
Yeah.
Divorce lawyers are making some money after this,
Oh yeah.
or counselors.
Buy one get one free.
Well, they said the domestic violence rate soared through the roof.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You finally put people can't get away from each other anymore. You can't
Yeah.
Right,
leave.
you're stuck.
Because it forces like people to just confront family issues and stuff that they were able to avoid, and then half the time it doesn't
Well,
go well.
yeah, I mean, because the wives are, wives, girlfriends, whatever have kids with. They're with the children like mine is, and she's with them all day. They don't go to school. They're, I come home and just try to do the best I can, getting yelled at.
Yeah. I give props to all the parents out there right now with all their kids at
We have
home.
2 cats and
Oh.
That's been rough.
they're shadows.
Just kidding.
They follow us everywhere.
They literally do.
Nothing's quiet. I got to see my wife. My wife's become the at-home school teacher with my kids online.
Yeah.
So started out they were working in the same room. About week 2, they had to be separated completely because they were fighting like school, like 2 kids in school. My wife was went from the teacher to the dean. She was meeting out punishments to each one of them for not doing what they're supposed to do. I've never heard anybody repeat instructions to somebody more than my wife telling my 13-year-old repeatedly how to do the simplest things. And so you do gain a new appreciation for teachers.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like everybody's kid is awesome. Like that's not my kid. I see my kids now and realize if I was their teacher in school, there'd be problems. I probably would have been fired already because
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't put up with it. The third time I heard my wife repeat something, that would be enough for me.
Right.
So her patience is awesome, and God bless all our teachers who put up with our kids every day.
Yeah. And also, like, huge shout out to the teachers who, during COVID, are still teaching. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
true.
from being in the whole e-schooling thing, they had, like, no instruction originally on how to do it. They were just told, like, tomorrow we're starting e-learning, good luck.
Yeah. Good luck.
Yep.
And, like,
Figure it
Nothing
out.
than watching teachers try to figure out how to use
Yeah.
Zoom.
yeah.
And even my wife trying to figure out how to get my kids on Zoom.
Oh no.
I was
Yeah.
like, I use Zoom almost on a regular basis at my work, but it's like, when I first started getting my kids to like understand how to be in front of a camera,
Oh yeah.
like they get how to get on, like they had to show my wife like how to get on, they got that part.
Yeah.
But getting my 8-year-old to stay in front of the camera for class as part of her teaching is impossible feat. She's walking back here, she's got the laptop, she's picking it up and walking around in circles.
Right.
I can't teach her like, hey, can you just stop for a second? They doesn't get it, right? It's interesting.
I'm just thinking about back in the day when my mom was teaching us our schoolwork. If she needed to help us, it never ended well. We'd all be crying at the end.
How many melons does he have?
Right,
The
she's
math
at the end,
problems.
she's screaming
Yeah.
at all of us. Yeah, that was rough for all of
And then
us.
I had to relearn math to help my daughter with the Common Core. Whoever came up with that
It's
system is
ridiculous.
the dumbest system I've ever seen in the
yeah.
world. To do a simple addition problem
Just need
takes
to get rid of it.
10 minutes longer than just doing regular addition that I
Yeah.
learned to bring up with. It's simple and easy.
12 plus 12 is 24. Simple. You don't have to sit there and
No, I can break out 5s,
Yeah.
1s, 10s.
Yeah.
I would not make it.
No.
That's where the whole, like, Nordic country school system's so super cool. Like, I did a project on it a couple years ago. It was awesome. It's like they do 4-hour school days instead of 6, but then, and they have no homework. Like, teachers aren't allowed to assign homework. And students can pick their classes from, like, years before we do to, like, work around the things they like to do. And most teachers, like, take polls of their classes of, like, how much math do you guys want to do depending on what you want to do with your life.
We're like the original pioneers because you and I only went to school for like 4 hours a day.
Yeah. Yeah.
We picked and choose what classes we went to if we wanted to go.
If we want to go.
So I think we were like Nordic pioneers. We weren't bad
Yeah.
students. We were Nordic pioneers of the
Yes.
educational system.
Yeah.
We picked and choose when we'd go to the parking lot, when we'd sneak out,
Right.
who would
Call
call
in
each other
sick.
out sick.
Go over to Dave's house.
Yeah, it was.
Go. Yeah.
Yeah,
Damn. We were ahead of our time.
We were pioneers.
We were pioneers.
Not bad stuff. We were pioneers to the modern high school system.
And then there's this new version of homeschooling where, like, if you decide to, like, run a lemonade stand, you can count that as a math credit.
What?
Like, I mean, there's, like, students like Ben Greenfield. He's big in the health and fitness industry. Like, his kids have a cooking podcast, and that counts for their math credit because they do all the math of the accounting and everything, and it's like you can find weird ways to.
I should have my PhD in math now because I worked at trade shows every weekend from the time I was 5 on.
Yeah.
I sold fruit on the side of the street when I was 5.
Right.
Yeah.
What kind of fruit?
Everything. Oranges, bananas, avocados, grapefruit.
Wow.
That's what we did. We lost the business, so we started going down to Maxwell Street in the morning. We'd buy fruit. Then we'd drive home. My dad would drop me off on the side of the road and say, you sit here and sell fruit, and I'll go over this street over here. And we'd sit there and do that till the police came. And the cop would show up. I mean, at the time, Geneva was nothing. It was like in the middle of nowhere. So the cop would show up and be like, what are you doing out here? I'm like, I'm just waiting for my dad to get back. The van broke down. He had to walk to go get gas. And the cop would be so mad. He's like, so he left you here alone? Yeah.
Selling fruit.
Right, selling fruit. Like selling fruit without a permit. And we do that 3 days a week. And we'd see the same cop all the time, but I think they just kind of got it and let us be.
That's awesome. That's funny.
Jay said, Common Core is the devil.
I don't know who. I don't like to talk to the person who met him and just have him explain to me how it makes sense.
Yeah. Doesn't make the kids any smarter.
Right.
I had to relearn math so I could teach my daughter how to do her simple math. It took me an hour to relearn what the hell Common Core was before I could help her with a simple problem. It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
I actually like American test scores have gone down since Common Core.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, I would see it.
Well, the funny thing is, all this great teaching, right? You stand in front of somebody and they can't make change or can't walk into any retail establishment with somebody young. And I mean, my favorite thing used to be is like if the bill's 2506, right? You give 2603, and just to watch the pause look on their face, like, what?
Yeah.
They then probably have to punch in the cash register to get it to make sense to them how much change,
Yeah.
right? It's not the instant like we used to.
I
Right?
hate when people do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that was you had to know it on the spot.
Yeah. Or I used to work trade shows a lot too, and that was something that I'd watch like a 30-year-old not be able to do. I was like,
Yes.
it's not.
At Christmas time
Rocket
one
Man.
year, I sold something that was $85. I had a lady stand there and count out cash to me, over and over and over and over and over again. I'm watching her count it out. She kept on counting out like $360. She just had an envelope of money from the bank. She got so frustrated, she just handed me the money. She goes, here. And I had to count it back and like give her back the change. She was ready to walk away without change. I'm like, you're gonna walk away with over $180? I'm like, how do you survive in the world if you can't
Right.
do simple math like on the spot? You deal with it every day.
I like to throat punch them.
And I agree wholeheartedly.
Jay.
I don't advocate violence, but on this person, yeah.
If you work in retail or a cash register person, just like give a quick thumbs up.
Yeah.
But
I'm one of those. Although with us, like with our system, you type in what they gave you, and it automatically just tells you what to change.
Right, but so if
I
computers
have it in my head, but
computers shut down tomorrow, retailer would be in so much trouble.
if the computer shut down tomorrow, everything would be in so much trouble.
Everything,
We're done.
everything else would be
Yeah.
going to shit.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, I think it's another episode, the end of the episode for Coffee and Bullshit. So,
we're at 47 minutes.
Dang.
47 minutes. That's pretty
Double
good.
we did
Oh, we
last
got a
week.
thumbs up from,
Oh,
awesome.
from Nick
Awesome.
Rogers.
Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for your
Thank
support.
you.
Yeah,
Thanks to Omar, Demi for coming out.
Yeah.
Thanks
Enough
for having
Outpost.
us, you
it's
guys.
great to meet you guys.
Yeah, this was fun.
Have them back again one day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
whenever you
We'll
guys
talk
need.
about guns or something next
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Next time we can do that, yeah.
We'll bring our collection.
Awesome.
All right. Well, we're signing off. So y'all have a good one. Be safe out there.
Stay healthy. Drink more Gun Barrel coffee.